A gruesome murder video was leaked onto the internet displaying two teens viciously killing a 48-year-old man in a wooded area. The video was called 3 Men, 1 Hammer. The killers behind this attack? Two 19-year-old men who ended up murdering 21 people and recorded 2 of their killings while laughing and joking. Their depravity and demeanor is truly chilling. They had a plan to get rich from filming snuff videos. A third suspect was involved in the murders, although he never participated in the killings. He would claim he only committed robberies with the duo, without knowing they would later embark on one of the largest killing sprees in Ukrainian history. This is the story of the Dnipropetrovsk Maniacs.
Investigation Hour. This video contains murder and explicit details. Viewer discretion is advised.
This story takes place in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, Ukraine. Located in the southeastern part of the Ukraine, the 3 suspects began a friendship in the 3rd grade: Viktor Sayenko, Igor Suprunyak, and Alexander Hanza. All born in 1988 into wealthy, influential families, and they attended school together. Toward 8th grade, they all had developed several phobias in which they would try to overcome. For example, hanging over a 14-story balcony to face their fear of heights. Hanza had hemophobia, which is the fear of blood. Suprunyak proposed catching and killing stray dogs in an effort to overcome his phobia. The 3 would kill animals and take photos posing in front of their kill, as if proud of their accomplishments. They were also Nazi enthusiasts. Many of their photos involve them drawing swastikas with the blood and giving a Hitler salute, or drawing on a Hitler mustache. The 3 boys would spend their time through middle school and high school brutally torturing animals. Once graduating high school, the 3 would find jobs, and that's when things would take an even more violent turn. Sayenko became a security guard, Hanza a construction worker, then pastry chef, and Suprunyak would become an unlicensed taxi driver. Several months before their murder spree, the 3 would rob his passengers. Sayenko and Suprunyak began to lose interest in robbing people. They took things further and began murdering random people for the thrill of it. They would eventually go on a killing spree, taking 21 lives. They first began randomly picking pedestrians and bludgeoning them with a hammer or a steel bar, then robbing many of them. The first 2 murders occurred on June 25, 2007, late at night. The 2 boys went out for a walk, and Suprunyak with a hammer in hand. They first attacked a 33-year-old woman, Yekaterina Ilchenko, who was walking home. He spun her around and hit her in the head with a hammer. Less than an hour later, their second victim was attacked, a man sleeping on a bench, Roman Tatarvik. He was again bludgeoned in the head. On July 1st and 6th, they had taken 5 more lives. The next day, after killing 3 people, they went out again, this time attacking 2 14-year-old boys as they were fishing, Andrei Sidyak and Vadim Liakov. Liakov managed to flee and run to the police after his friend Sidyak was murdered. The police initially did not believe him, and he was beaten during questioning. They soon connected the attack to the current killing spree and had developed sketches with Liakov of the attackers. After this, they would go on to kill 14 more people. 2 bodies were found each day from July 14th to July 16th. These vicious killers were selecting people at random. No one was off limits. They attacked the elderly, children, and the homeless. Their MO involved bludgeoning their victims with blunt objects such as hammers or steel bars, and torturing, sometimes mutilating them. They would specifically aim for their faces, leaving most unrecognizable. Some victims even had their eyes gouged out while they were still alive. And another, a pregnant woman, had her fetus cut from her womb. They would rob most of their victims and later sell their possessions to pawn shops. Police began distributing the sketches and lists of the victims' stolen property to the local pawn shops in the hopes they would catch them. A week after their killing spree ended, Supernyuk tried to sell a mobile phone to a pawn shop for $30. The police tracked the phone and arrested Sayenko and Supernyuk on the spot on July 23, 2007. Meanwhile, Hansa was at home being arrested and having his home searched. He rushed to flush the remaining jewelry and mobile phones down the toilet, but was unsuccessful. All three immediately confessed. Supernyuk later retracted his confession. Their trial began in June 2008. Supernyuk pleaded not guilty, while the other two pleaded guilty to all the charges. They were all charged with animal cruelty, robbery, and armed robbery. Supernyuk and Sienko were charged for premeditated murder. The prosecution asked for life imprisonment for Sienko and Supernyuk, and 15 years hard labor for Hansa. Unfortunately, the Ukraine deemed capital punishment unconstitutional in December 1999. What do you guys think? Do you believe in capital punishment? I, for one, believe that in some cases it should be utilized. These guys have disgraced the sanctity of human life and animal life, and therefore should not have the opportunity to live any longer. So many innocent lives were brutally tortured and lost because of them. I do believe some people can change, but when you commit such pure evil acts such as these, they are too far gone to help. During trial, it wasn't made clear what their motivation was for the killings, but several former classmates and a girlfriend had reported that they planned to get rich from the snuff videos they were making, often hearing Supernyuk claiming he knew a rich foreign website operator who would pay him for 40 videos. Although the defense argued during trial that for these young men, murder was like entertainment or hunting, Supernyuk went as far as collecting newspaper clippings of the crimes, showing that he reveled in it. The defense would use the multiple murder videos and photographs during trial. One video was leaked to the internet showing the torture and murder of 48-year-old Sergei Yatsenko. He was seen lying in a wooded area as the two attackers bludgeoned him in the head with a hammer. He was then stabbed in the stomach with a screwdriver and then struck in the eye and head. The attacker is seen smiling and laughing, looking back at the camera after he finally kills Yatsenko. They continue to film as they walk back calmly to their car, discussing the murder as if they were chatting about the weather. They then wash their hands off with water, then the hammer, and continue to laugh. Police found multiple photographs of animal mutilation and some showing them attending the funerals of their victims. In the photos, they are seen flipping off the coffins and their graves. In total, there were 2 videos and over 300 photographs. Their defense team would have the audacity to argue that the videos were altered to look like the suspects. The judge replied, "You are not blind." The prosecutors had an expert on film and video editing, testifying that the video was not tampered with at all. Eventually, all 3 men were found guilty of their respective charges. Sienko and Supernyuk serving life in prison, and Hansa serving 9 years, given that he did not participate in any of the killings. An appeal was made on August 18, 2009, for both Sienko and Supernyuk, stating again that the videos were fabricated. In November of 2009, the appeal was denied. Later in April of 2019, Hansa had been released from prison after serving his 9-year sentence and is now married with 2 children. Sienko and Supernyuk are still serving their life sentences in prison. Thanks for listening. If you're into solved and unsolved crimes and strange mysteries, subscribe to us so you don't miss out on our weekly videos released every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It would really help us out. Until next time.